Ever wondered if we're alone in the vast universe, or could an advanced civilization be out there, watching us? Today's story takes you on a thrilling ride as an astronaut aboard the International Space Station picks up an astonishing signal from the depths of space. What happens next will challenge everything we know. Stay tuned to uncover the truth. The story begins with Sven waking up in the middle of the night and hurrying his deaf daughter, Charlie, to join their neighbors in a field. They're there to watch the spacecraft carrying Sven's wife, Paula, land. Everyone is tense as the parachute fails to deploy, but Paula manually activates it just in time, landing safely. Relief turns to celebration as Paula steps out of the pod. Later, Paula calls Sven, joking about his old phone and sharing her excitement to come home. However, strange noises interrupt the call, and it cuts off after Paula mentions something unusual happened during the mission. Sven and Charlie rush to the airport to meet Paula. There, they encounter Rare, her boss, and Mara, Hadot's wife. But news breaks that Paula's flight over the Atlantic has disappeared. Wreckage is found, confirming no survivors. Shock and grief overwhelm the crowd, and chaos erupts in the conference hall. Months earlier, Paula and Hadot boarded the spaceship with their crew, preparing for their first mission in space. Both felt excited and optimistic about the journey ahead. In the present, Sven sits outside, dreading how to tell Charlie the devastating truth. Federal police arrive, questioning him about his last conversation with Paula. They note her unusual behavior, including the delayed manual deployment of the parachute. As Sven prepares to leave, they ask about his earlier comment, "I should have obeyed you. You were right." Sven says nothing, walking away while revealing that the woman he spoke with wasn't Paula, but a federal officer. At an ATM, Sven's card doesn't work, and a woman named Nora helps him withdraw money. She introduces herself as Moody's assistant and shares that Moody is grieving deeply, as she considered Paula like a daughter. Nora also reveals she was supposed to be on the ill-fated flight, but survived due to a last-minute change of plans. Nora hands Charlie a gift from Moody, along with a card that reads, "Death is just the beginning." When Charlie asks about its meaning, Sven reassures her with a lie. Everything will be fine in the end. Sven and Charlie return home and Sven puts Charlie to bed. He finds her diary, filled with notes from Paula, and starts listening to her old radio recordings, longing for her presence. In a flashback, Paula communicates with Charlie from space, excitedly showing her the view and explaining her mission. The crew is working on reviving cells that don't regenerate after death under Moody's orders. In the present, Sven removes the decorations, grieving Paula's absence. He later notices an inconsistency in the time shown during Paula's landing, raising doubts about the broadcast. Confronting Rare, he is told the truth is too painful to reveal. Meanwhile, Mara, Hadi's wife, calls Sven, upset and feeling trapped. Another flashback shows Paula losing connection with Earth as her ship enters a dead zone. During this time, she hears a child's voice on the radio, suspecting it's Charlie, but knowing it's impossible. In the present, Charlie locks herself in her room after learning about the crash. Sven confirms Paula is gone, and they grieve together. Federal officers arrive with a recording from the cockpit, where Paula says, "Forgive me, I love you." They question Sven about her presence in the cockpit. Later, Kathleen, a neighbor, visits to comfort Sven and Charlie. Meanwhile, in space, Paula and Hadi investigate a mysterious signal coming from deep space, something that shouldn't be possible. Paula and Hadi analyze the mysterious signal, realizing it's mimicking human voices. While Paula senses its significance, Hadi warns her to keep it secret, fearing it could jeopardize their careers. Paula agrees, but her curiosity grows. That night, she struggles to sleep, her mind buzzing with possibilities. Back on Earth, federal officers search Sven's house and play Paula's cockpit recording for her parents. Paula's mother becomes distraught and refuses to talk about it. Meanwhile, Sven notices Paula's untouched medication in their room, confirming she hadn't been taking it. In space, Paula grows increasingly distressed. A wound on her hand worsens and she begins hallucinating, imagining insects crawling from it. She cuts at it with a knife, causing blood to float in zero gravity. It becomes clear that skipping her medication has led to psychosis. News reports blame Paula and Hadi for the plane crash, playing audio of Paula's final words. Angry locals gather outside Sven's house, accusing Paula of causing the tragedy. Some throw stones, and reporters crowd the scene, adding to the family's distress. Sven decides it's unsafe for Charlie to stay and sends her to live with her grandparents. However, during the journey, Charlie spots something shining in the sky, rushes back home, and insists she won't leave her father. In a flashback, Paula confides in Moody, revealing she hid her medical condition to join the mission. Despite her struggles, she burned her medical records, determined to achieve her dream of space exploration. Moody tries to reassure her, but Paula's guilt over hiding the truth lingers. Later, Nora arrives to address the media, urging families not to lose hope and praising Moody's support. Tensions rise when a man throws red paint at Moody, accusing him of causing the crash. The same man later targets Sven, calling him a murderer and claiming anyone Sven loves will suffer. Nora gives Sven a device to stay in contact and warns him to be cautious. As hostility grows, Sven's fears for Charlie's safety deepen. Charlie screams in fear, claiming she just spoke to her mom through the radio. Sven, startled but skeptical, cuts the radio connection in anger, dismissing Charlie's words. Upset, Charlie yells that she wishes he had died instead of her mom. Later, Roner calls Sven, expressing doubts about the official story and hinting at a government cover-up. Sven apologizes to Charlie, but their tension lingers. While outside, he notices the man with red paint driving past, further unsettling him. Sven decides to visit Mira's place, leaving Charlie there temporarily while he steps out. In space, Paula's hallucinations worsen. She removes a bandage and discovers strange markings on her hand. Meanwhile, Sven visits Rainer's home but finds it abandoned. Searching the house, he stumbles upon a classified file, revealing Paula wasn't hallucinating but had uncovered something extraordinary during the mission. Sven shares this revelation with Mira, suspecting Paula and Hadi found something significant. When he returns home, he's horrified to discover Charlie has run away. At the same time, Paula and Hadi receive another mysterious signal in space. Outside, Sven spots the man with red paint again and confronts him, suspecting he has Charlie. After blocking the man's car, Sven discovers a photo of the man's family, who perished in the crash, understanding his actions are rooted in grief. In a touching flashback, Sven and Paula take young Charlie to a doctor, where she receives her hearing device. The moment Charlie hears for the first time fills her parents with joy. In the present, Sven searches for Charlie, finding a clue in her diary that suggests Paula may be trying to communicate. Meanwhile, Charlie wanders to a distant house where she encounters a dog in a cage. Someone takes her away as Sven, now desperate, turns the radio back on, hoping for a sign from Paula. In space, Paula grows suspicious of Hadi, noticing his relentless search for the signal. Reflecting on a conversation with Sven about always letting Charlie win at games, Paula realizes she must adopt a smarter strategy to outmaneuver Hadi and uncover the truth about the signal. The federal officer confronts Sven with evidence tying him to Rainer's house and the man he attacked. Sven, however, remains focused on finding his daughter. He demands answers about the missing CCTV footage and gaps in the timeline, believing the truth lies in the file he possesses. Meanwhile, during the mission, Paula cleverly hides in the airlock while her team faces a crisis on board. She intercepts a strange signal with a child's voice saying, "Hello?" Back on Earth, Sven shares the top-secret file with the officer, suspecting a government cover-up. Paula fears the signal could bring danger to Earth. Sven uncovers more secrets, including tampered CCTV footage and erased evidence, while Charlie grapples with memories of her mother's distant behavior. Paula's recorded message urges Sven to stay strong for Charlie, hinting at the vast importance of their mission. The story shifts between Earth and space. Sven discovers government conspiracies tied to Paula's findings about potential alien contact. Meanwhile, Paula outsmarts Hadi, who tries to extract the landing coordinates of the aliens. In space, she manages to send a crucial message to Earth. The aliens will arrive on September 10th at 9:00 a.m. Back on Earth, Sven confronts the truth. The government is hiding the aliens' arrival. An old ally warns him about the dangers of exposing the information, but Sven presses on. A car crash, cryptic messages, and hidden coordinates bring Sven and Charlie closer to uncovering the mystery. As tensions rise, the federal officers, Paula's crew, and Sven's family race against time. Moody, the mastermind behind many events, is revealed to have orchestrated the chaos for personal gain. Her plans unravel as Sven exposes her manipulations. Moody is arrested, held accountable for the catastrophic events. In the end, Sven and Charlie reach the coordinates. Instead of an alien spacecraft, they find a NASA probe returning with a message of peace, signaling humanity's first contact with another intelligence. The series closes on a hopeful note, confirming that humans are not alone in the universe. That's a wrap on the German sci-fi series The Signal, 2017. The mystery was interesting, but the characters could have been developed better. Still, the visuals and atmosphere kept me hooked. What did you think of the series? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe our small channel for more. See you next time. Take care.